Hello, booktubers, bookstagrammers, book talkers, book people of the world. I'm Alexandra and I'm coming to you from my house. I wanted to introduce myself and my writing. So some of you can have an idea of what kind of an author I am, what kind of writer I am. I like to write contemporary romance and historical romance. So today I thought I would do a little reading. You know, little kids get a little reading at the library. I'm not reading an entire book. This is way too long for that. If you want that, you can get the Audible when it comes out. In the meantime, I thought I would do a little reading from chapter 13. It is a friends to lovers romance, second chance lovers, between Simon and Fiona. And in this scene, Fiona and Simon are in an argument because Simon is being overly controlling and possessive. He's kind of an alpha male. He's not ready to acknowledge how he feels about her. So in this scene, he's cornering her after a week of her ignoring him after an incident the week before. And he's tired of waiting for her to talk to him. So I will begin. I will be editing out the swear words just because I want to make sure other people can watch this video. So if you hear a pause, it is because of that. I'm not 11 anymore. You have to stop seeing me as a little girl. She placed her hands on my chest as she gazed up at me. Seeing her as a child was not the problem. I could see she wasn't a child, but she wasn't a woman either. I didn't want those to touch her. She was mine. I mean, she was my best friend. My friend. The boys here weren't good enough for her. And Kickball, come on. You swear more than anyone. Why can't I swear? Why do you think you get to dictate my vocabulary choices? Fiona was hugging me now. I relaxed. She was in my arms again. The world was back to rights. We could finally resolve things. I could bend. I had been a bit crazy. I could compromise on her swearing, I think. I rested my chin on top of her head and got my snuggles. I don't like hearing you swear, I answered. I didn't. She was so perfect and tiny and soft. When she swore, it was like a slap in my face. I hated it. It was just wrong. You need to... Out, Fiona said. I winced. Yep, hated it. I'll try, I answered. She bent back and glared at me. Fine, I'll be annoyed on the inside and berate you in private. Is that fair? She kept looking at me. Sweet pea, I can only change so much. It's like a part of me wants to punch every guy that looks at you, I said. This wasn't good. But I wasn't going to tell her that. I couldn't. She couldn't know. Could never know. It could never happen. At least don't ruin the friendships I've made. Can you do that? Riley and Jason promised to keep an eye out for the bad apples. They are less reactive than you. You seriously embarrassed me last week. That was horrible. And at homecoming? You have to let me date. Fiona looked at my chest and frowned. So I pulled her in for a hug. I'll try my best. Will you promise you'll never ignore me for a week ever again? I asked. Maybe I'll just take you to the dances. Simon, she said, shaking her head. I promise to be better, I said. She held up her pinky, and I wrapped my pinky around it, and we kissed our thumbs to seal the pact. This time, we both kissed them at the same time. I felt her breath on my lips. All I could do was stare at her, and she stared at me. My stomach did weird things again. This had to stop. I did a mental head shake and smiled at her. Sealed, I whispered. And that is chapter 13. Well, not the whole chapter, but a little bit of it. That was Simon's perspective. Again, the book is We Never Said Goodbye. It's available at Amazon and at Barnes & Noble. It's available on Kindle Unlimited. And it will be available in Audible in the next year. So if you enjoyed it, please pick up a copy, or you can check out any of my other books. I have a couple, several, really. So thank you guys, and it was nice to meet all of you, and I hope you enjoyed the reading. Bye.